You might believe overthinking is your secret weapon.
A secret weapon?
Helping you dodge bullets and avoid making mistakes.
Dodged a bullet there, huh?
It feels logical, right? If you consider every possible angle, you're bound to make the perfect choice.
Perfect.
But here's the hard truth. Overthinking isn't helping.
Wait, what?
It's actually holding you back from making any choice at all.
Bummer.
Let's take a step back and see why you might think overthinking is your ally. It's natural to want to avoid mistakes. You might feel that by thinking things through thoroughly, you're being responsible and careful. This belief stems from a good place, wanting to do your best. But while it seems like a thorough analysis should lead to better decisions, you can take the analysis part too far, and it often leads to getting stuck in endless loops of negative what-ifs. The reality is, overthinking clouds your judgment. It makes you second-guess yourself, increases your anxiety, and leads to analysis paralysis. Instead of helping, it builds an invisible barrier around you, keeping you from moving forward. This is a subconscious protective mechanism. Most of the time, you may not even be aware that you're stuck in indecision city. However, the fear of making the wrong decision is paralyzing for some, and the subconscious mind's job is to protect you, keep you safe, the best way it knows how. So it has learnt that stuck equals safe because change equals risk and risk equals danger. So you end up making no decision at all and cover up your fear and indecision with more research, more analysis, more data, burying you deeper and deeper into the indecision hole. Sound familiar? So how do you break free from this cycle? It's time to embrace a new way of thinking. In this video, I will share with you 7 new ways of thinking to help you break free from this cycle. And the first is a mindset shift. To achieve the desired mindset shift required to help you go from confusion to clarity, we must start off with understanding the fear mindset. A fear mindset often originates from a place of anxiety, insecurity, or previous trauma. When you operate from fear, your decisions are primarily aimed at avoiding negative outcomes. This could manifest at staying in a job you dislike because you fear unemployment, remaining in unfulfilling relationships because you're afraid of being alone, or avoiding new experiences because they feel too risky. The fear mindset can keep you in a defensive state, where your choices are more about protection from harm rather than pursuing true desires or happiness. Conversely, a love mindset involves making decisions based on what you value, aspire to, and love. This doesn't just mean romantic love, but a broader, more encompassing love that includes passions, aspirations, and genuine connections. It means seeking out what enriches you and fosters growth. In a love mindset, decisions are made with the intention of moving towards positive experiences and outcomes, not just avoiding negative ones. For example, choosing a career path that truly aligns with your interests and passions, or deciding to spend time with people who inspire and uplift you. There are 3 steps to how to make the shift from a fear mindset to a love mindset. The first step is recognizing when your choices are being driven by fear. Pay attention to when you feel compelled to choose the safe route and ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Acknowledging these fears is crucial to understanding and eventually overcoming them. The second step is to start reframing your thoughts, to focus on positive outcomes rather than potential threats. Instead of thinking, what if I fail? Try thinking, what if I succeed? This simple shift in perspective can open you up to new possibilities and lessen the feelings of fear. The third step is to make a list of what you truly love and enjoy. Activities, people, goals. Consider how your decisions can align more closely with your values. This might mean prioritizing projects or hobbies that bring you joy, or investing in relationships that make you feel valued and loved. All right, now moving on to the next section, which is something that everyone can do, and that is to click the like button on this video. if it's being helpful to you or eye-opening. If you're finding this useful and you're going to use these tips, I'd love it if you let me know by clicking that like button so it can spread to more people. Thank you. Once you've adopted the correct mindset, it's time to take action, because action creates clarity. Instead of trying to predict every possible outcome, take a small step forward, make a decision, and learn from what happens. Action will give you real-world feedback, much more reliable than your guesses and speculations. This feedback will help you make better informed decisions moving forward. It's like when you can't see the forest through the trees. A path is overgrown and you're not sure which way to go. All you need to see is the next step. And as you keep taking one step after another, the path reveals itself to you. Rather than being stressed about making the right decision, make the decision right. Do your homework, collect information, think over your choices carefully, then make a reasoned decision based on what you know. Once you've made your choice, embrace it, stick to it, forget about the other options, don't look back.
Right hard, don't look back.
Give your all to the decision you made. Accept the consequences, take responsibility for it, and move forward. It will make you a stronger person.
If you want him, come and claim him.
Once you've done your research and you find that there is no clear, obvious choice, perhaps all options are equally good or all options are equally bad, and a decision must be made, then randomly choose. If you've thought it through and there's nothing left to consider other than repeating the same thoughts in your head and overthinking it, then just randomly choose.
Oh, roll the dice and play.
It's easy to randomly choose low consequence choices, such as a Mars or a Snickers. No one's going to care. Well, believe it or not, it's exactly the same thing with high consequence choices, such as getting married or not, taking the job or not. You will never know if you made the best choice because you can only live one life. If there was some magical way you could live the life of someone who's had kids and someone who hasn't had kids, maybe you could make a comparison, but you don't have that available to you. So you will never know if you made the right choice or not. So that leads us to, there is no point regretting your decisions, because the fact is, living indecisively is living in regret. For example, should you study business or graphic design? Let's say you make the decision to study business. Let's say it's terrible and you wish you had have studied graphic design instead. There's no way of knowing that graphic design would have been worse, better, or the same. That's why regret is pointless, because you're presuming the choice that you didn't take would have been better. There's a study in psychology that showed that once you choose something, the other option looks more appealing. The grass is always greener on the other side. So regardless of what you choose, you tend to think that what we missed is better. You might be thinking, what does forgiveness have to do with decision making? Let me explain. Nothing is perfect. You can only do your best. You obviously make the best decision based on the information you have available to you at the time. It's only in hindsight where we have 20/20 vision, as they say, because we now have more information available to us than we did at the time of making the decision. If you're kicking yourself for a decision you made in the past, such as taking up smoking cigarettes as a teenager, and you're now trying to quit smoking as an adult, ask yourself, if I could go back in time and relive my youth again, knowing everything that I now know, would I do it any differently? Would I start smoking knowing that I would grow up to regret it? If the answer is no, I wouldn't start smoking as a teen, then that makes you forgivable. The intent was not to hurt yourself, so forgive yourself for the choices you made in the past. For those of you who are spiritual and believe in a higher power, this mindset shift has a profound psychological effect. Simply by reflecting and recognizing the limits of one's own understanding and acceptance of a greater, perhaps unknowable plan. Let's explore this concept further. A simple prayer to God, Let it be God's will and not my own. By simply acknowledging a critical, often humbling truth, despite our own best efforts and intentions, we don't always know what's best for us. Our decisions are frequently clouded by immediate desires, biases, emotional reactions, and limited perspectives. In contrast, the notion of a divine or higher power suggests a broader, more all-knowing, all-seeing viewpoint. Surrender in this context doesn't mean giving up or not making any decisions. Rather, it's about releasing the tight grip of control we believe we have over our lives. It involves acknowledging that while we can steer our efforts and make choices, the outcome isn't entirely in our hands. This surrender isn't a passive state, it's an active trust in a larger process. If you're still here, I hope you liked today's video. If you did and you would like me to continue to make more awesome videos like this one, you can support the channel, show me some love, and buy me a coffee. I really appreciate it. Now, there's a link between overthinking and being a deep thinker, and I've made a video which is linked on the screen now where I talk about the struggles of being a deep thinker, like getting stuck in your head and feeling overwhelmed by emotions. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out over there.